What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. Welcome to the first episode of Off the Wall, where I'm just going to be discussing some of my favorite albums from my vinyl collection and sharing them with you. First up, 50 Cent, the Massacre album. One of my favorites. I know some people, they just go for Get Rich, but to me, and I might be in a class by myself, I think the songs on this album was better than Get Rich. Don't shoot me, please. It's just my opinion. I I don't know. I like this songwriting on here. I think the beats were better as well. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna put this back. There we go. Now, coming off one of the biggest debuts, if not the biggest debut, probably next to Snoop, but depending on who you ask, it might be bigger than that. But coming off one of the biggest debuts in hip hop history, 50 Cent's face with every great artist face when they deliver a great album or a great debut. It's that sophomore slump. It's that, can he do it again? Was it just a one time thing? Was it a flash in the pan? And in between time from '03 to '05, man, he released a group album, released solo albums on every member of G Unit, pretty much, except Yayo. Had mad mixtapes drop all in between this, and gave 6 songs from the Massacre to the documentary. So it's not like that we were fiending or missing a 50 Cent record or a 50 Cent sound, because he was still everywhere at the time. It's just that, the studio albums mean a lot more, and when you have a debut as big as he did, we were waiting. When 50 Cent began recording material for the Massacre, or then titled at the time the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, I remember it was magazine as I had it up on my wall. Like, it was, that shit was fucking dope. Nostalgic. He went in a more personal approach. So he wrote songs like God Gave Me Style. He wrote Hate It or Love It. But he felt when he turned it into the record company, they were like, this might be a little bit not what we want. It's like, you should go back and start killing people, which is crazy. But they told him, like, nah, I don't think you should go in that direction. So he scrapped those songs, gave him the game, and the rest is history, pretty much. It trips me out to think sometimes, like, wow, if he would have kept Hate It or Love It, How We Do, Special, No Church for Thugs, all for himself, that fucking album would have been so amazing. Like, so amazing. I think that was like his gripe with Game. Like, dude, I gave you some of my best material because his love for Dre and what Dre did for him, and then you like spit in my face. But like, come on, man. That, it just shows you. I say that to say, look at his work ethic at the time. Like, he also said when he was writing the Massacre, he didn't really care about what his verses sounded like. He just wanted to make sure the hooks were good and that the songs were just great songs. And, for better for worse, or how you view that, I think you can tell. Like, the songwriting is obviously, to me, better than his previous work. Like songs on like Baltimore Love Thing, you couldn't even get that 50 Cent before that. Like telling the story of being heroin, and it's just so fucking great. The beats are better. The Ski Mask Way. Let me get back into it. I'm drifting off into like nostalgia moment. But the Massacre gives me something that Get Rich doesn't, and that's, it lets 50 Cent be like a true artist. Like, I think that first album, it's the persona. It's the tough guy. I get shot. I survive. I bounce back from all this adversity. Here I am. I'm the toughest guy you know. Like, really superhero type shit. And I don't think that really allows, I hate to say it, but it only allows you to be a real artist. Like, you're stuck in this box, for lack of better words. And I think, like, he couldn't do songs like Candy Shop or Just a Little Bit, or maybe even Disco Inferno at the time. Like, if in that moment of Get Rich, to me, that's just my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. The album has its low moments. It's way too many songs. Songs like Gat Man and Robin, Candy Shop, some of the latter tail songs, like So Amazing and I Build You Up is cool, but it's too many love songs. Like, it's too many. Like, you don't even, it's like a duplicate of the same song. But, if you, once you get past that, I still think the great songs are really great. I'm Supposed to Die Tonight. In My Hood. I think those songs are really great. like really well written songs. And then I found out that for the most part, like, Dre didn't have time to work on this album. Like, he was working on Game's album. So 50 Cent basically put it together himself. That's why he's executive producer on the album. It's something he said, like, when I was getting beats for the album, like he just wanted his like manager and team like put the beats all on a blank CD and just let me hear it that way. So he got a whole bunch of blank CDs from beats from Timberland to the no name producer in the hood, and he picked that way. And I thought that was really dope. Like, I thought that was really, really dope. Seeing as though he had Dr. Dre right there, but I thought that was really dope. Also on this album, you get glimpses of his insecurities on songs like I Don't Need 'Em and I'm Supposed to Die Tonight, and even rider music, an introspective type of way. Like, you see a guy come from nothing, literally define all the odds. Like, it's not many whose story is this. You can't even. This is movie shit. When you become the biggest ever artist ever, I'm pretty sure you're faced with like insecurities. You're faced with family problems. You're faced with personal problems, trust issues, and things of that nature. And he displays those in songs like that. Like, I thought it was really telling that "I Don't Need You, I Don't Need Him" was the last song on the album. You know what I mean? To be so successful and like the biggest ever, and your last song on the album is "I Don't Need Him." It's something you could think about. And rider music, you find him in this introspective bag where he speaks on adjustments to life, and how the media comes at you and they portray you a certain way, and deep down you're probably not really that person, and that takes a toll on you as well. Like, it's amazing, not amazing. Sometimes it's just awesome to see. I don't know, transparency like that. Like, every artist has that album when it's like, I'm poor, and then I got it. The next album is I got everything, and then the next album after that is like, damn, I got everything. I seen it all, and this ain't it, and blah blah blah, and like, so for him to do that on the second album is kind of crazy for me. Like, that's like third album, fourth album type shit. But when your debut is so fucking huge, here we are. And of course, what the fuck is a 50 Cent album without some hardcore hip hop shit? My Guns come out, Ski Mask Way, In My Hood, Bitch Get In My Car. Like, it's so many great records on there that just, I don't know, define a time for me. I also think it's hard for people to listen to the Massacre without Get Rich ears. Like, I think people listen to it as like, with like, you listen to Get Rich as you listening to the Massacre, which kind of would taint anything. Like, it's like holding Mike to Thriller forever. Like, you can't do that. But I think that leads to critiques from people with the Massacre. And I'll mention again, the production on this album is just stellar. Beats from Dr. Dre, High Tech, Sky Storch. The beats are just dope, man. Like, the rider music beat, like, you can't even, I wouldn't even think to hear 50 Cent on a beat like that until that moment. It was really dope. And in the end, the record comes out and sells 1.4 million records in the first week. So obviously, like, it's diamond now. Obviously, if you don't even think it's classic, it doesn't even matter. Like, the album is solidified in hip hop history. And it's just, it's a great album, man. I'm happy to have it in my collection. I might go listen to it after this now that I'm feeling all nostalgic and shit. Go get my 50 Cent tank top and shit, my headband. But yeah. Favorite songs of mine? Man, let me see. Position of Power, one. He killed that shit. Like, the hook, the beat, the verses, everything is just A1 on that one. So Position of Power. I'm Supposed to Die Tonight, Ski Mask Way, Baltimore Love Thing. And those four, my favorite on the album. It might change tomorrow, but right now, those are my favorites on the album. Oh, and I Don't Need 'Em. I Don't Need 'Em. Love that song. The things that I guess would say, like, the Massacre flaws are the things that if 50 Cent didn't have those in his career, he probably wouldn't last as long. Like, you can't do the gangster shit. You got to pivot at some point, but like, he's a fucking pop star at a point, so you got to like pivot, and he has to make songs like Disco Inferno or Candy Shop or Just a Little Bit and things of that nature or Best Friend to appeal to a wider audience. You know what I mean? Because he's fucking 50 Cent. So if he would have just stayed on the track that he was just like hardcore shit, he probably wouldn't have lasted as long as he did. That's just my opinion, though. Well, that's the Massacre. I'm Tatum. It's time to put this record back on my wall.